Record.
The court is now in session.
Alright, Gaspard, look. When you go up to the witness stand, I don't want you saying anything that would jeopardize this case, okay? I have all the things we need here on this piece of paper to defend you. Do not worry about a thing, alright? I'm the best lawyer around. However, the only arch enemy I have is my brother, Hose B.
Would the prosecution like to declare its opening statement?
Your Honor, today we're here in the court with a murderer. We're accusing Gaspard Castro with first-degree premeditated murder. Now, he may look as innocent and charming as he is. We have enough evidence to declare Mr. Gaspard as guilty. We know that he had full intentions of killing the Marquise, and we know he planned it because we have witnesses that declare him under the carriage of the Marquise on the day of the incident. We also know that his son was, as sad as it is, in an accident. Being that he has lost his only son, he had enough rage within him to commit murder.
Would like to call any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call Mr. Gaspard up to the stand. Relax. Go up to the stand and answer only what he asks. Alright, Mr. Gaspard, I have a few questions for you. Alright, now, where were you on the night of the incident?
I was out.
You were out. Now, is it true that your son has been killed?
Yes, he was run over by the Marquis.
Alright. Now, do you have any anger or resentment towards the Marquis?
Yes.
Gaspard, you're dismissed. Would you like to call another witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I would now like to call the repairer of roads. Repairer of roads. Now, did you see a man under the carriage of the Marquis?
Yes.
Could you describe that man?
He was very tall, ghostly pale, but I think it's because of the since it was sunset, it could have reflected off of him.
Okay. Now, can you confirm that that man that you saw under the carriage is here in this room?
Yes, he's right there.
That's what I thought.
Any more questions?
No further questions.
Witness is dismissed. The defense may begin their cross-examination.
Sit down. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness, Gaspard. Okay, Mr. Gaspard. Now, where were you on the night of the incident?
I was out.
Where were you exactly?
I was at my friend Jacques' house, and I was telling him about how my son got ran over. And in my emotional state, I consumed numerous amounts of alcohol and passed out.
Now, did you have any access to the Marquis' house that night?
No.
Now, do you believe you've been framed?
Yes, I believe that the nobility needed an scapegoat for their rival's murder.
Any further questions? The witness is dismissed.
My next witness will be Charles Darnay. Okay, Mr. Darnay. Where were you on the night of the incident?
I was at my uncle's house.
What were you doing at your uncle's house?
We were eating dinner, talking about the estate he wanted to leave me.
And how did he react?
He was disappointed because I didn't want it.
And when did you leave that night?
I left later that night.
Any further questions? Witness is dismissed. The prosecution and the defense may now present their closing statements.
Yes, Your Honor. As we've seen here in the trial, Mr. Gaspard is clearly guilty of the charges first-degree premeditated murder. Now, evidence shows that he has a motive to kill the Marquise. What is that motive, you may ask? The death of his son. I mean, the death of anyone's son would anger them, would force them to go crazy and to hurt or harm someone. Now, we also have reason to believe that he was under the Marquis' carriage and was already plotting to kill him. Witness the mender of roads, the mender of roads has reported seeing a tall man with a ghostly-like figure under the Marquis' carriage. And as we know, that tall man is Mr. Gaspard. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we leave it to your hands to decide the fate of Mr. Gaspard. Thank you, Your Honor. That was good. Don't worry. Your Honor, all the evidence presented today in the courts clearly shows that Mr. Gaspard is innocent. We know someone else was at the Marquis' house. That someone else is Charles Darnay. We know that Charles Darnay left late that night. Again, another suspect was at his house, which means Mr. Gaspard may not clearly be guilty. Now, we also know that the mender of roads provided characteristics of the man under the Marquis' carriage, and the man was pale white. Mr. Gaspard is not pale white and does not fit the characteristics. So, he clearly can't be the one under the carriage. We also know that Mr. Gaspard was a nice man, innocent, never capable of murder. So, how can we really convict this man of murder when he's never done so in his life? He was traumatized by his son's death. He would not be wasting his time killing the Marquis. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we hope that you find Mr. Gaspard innocent of all charges. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the testimonies, you've seen the evidence. Now it's up to you to decide the fate of this man. The jury may now deliberate. They will be called in 24 hours. The jury has come to a verdict. They find the defendant guilty of all charges. According to Penal Code, Section 187A, a man may not take the life of another man legally. He is sentenced to death by hanging.